Mm-hmm. Captain on bridge. 7th with 21.39.6. Jesus. Pretty right. Mm-hmm. What? Oh. Okay. I've consumed my croissant. I've consumed my croissant. And I'm ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to... welcome to the stream. There it is, that one. Oh, brother, come on. Okay, I'm gonna say something. I hate Samsung right now. For some reason, Samsung thought that adding like their own like Siri would be like interesting. But it's just proved annoying. Like, it's just an annoying feature. Having someone talking to you or whatever, a robot trying to talk to you. Thank God. Yeah, we're gonna play some, going back, we're gonna go through the story. Probably gonna be like a shorter stream than usual because we're just gonna play through the story and not dawdle around too much. Because, yeah, I just want to get the story done. Not much to do in, Honky Donkey once you've done a lot of stuff. Claim all that. The daily reset happened though, or the weekly reset, right? So that means the shops reset. Is that true? Is this true? No, they reset in like an hour. Okay, that's fair enough. Really? Is it? I totally forgot how the reset for this game happens. Anyway, we're probably gonna get into the story straight away. I haven't really looked at anything to do with it. Haven't really paid attention much. So I don't really know what's happening. I've got 12 energy. If only there was a place to spend it. Is it here? That's the one. Yeah, to Lightfire Universe Treaty Authority. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, I think we got part 1 and part 2 to do, but we'll do part 2 tomorrow. I just want to do part 1 today. But that's going to be the tough thing, is figuring out where the stop-off point for part 1 and part 2 is, because I think the game does do a continuous, like, flow. Hey, what's up, Asher? Welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're having a great day, buddy. Increase team ice damage by 0.1. Casting weapon activity inflicts 2 drum on enemies. So good. It just mirrors that terrible. Increase team ice damage by 0.1. What? Also, the blue number just doesn't change. The blue number just doesn't change with the levels. Is that... Who's ever gonna use this? Jesus Christ. That's so weird. That's so weird. What is this one? Complete the chapters, Elder Enigma Power Guidance. Yeah, this is just to do a bunch of challenges. We'll end up doing those. Yeah, we also got some other stuff. Nice. Act 1 have 5 stages. Does it? Okay. Act 1 has 5 stages. That's the only problem with me doing it after Act 2 was released. I didn't know that Act 2 would have been released that quickly. I was expecting at least a week between them, but there was like 3 days between them. Can I look at it through this? Oh, I can. There we go. Yeah, there you go. 30, 38, 30. Okay, nice. We can just do it that way. Didn't understand the statement, but it should be that bad. That's terrible. Just increase, like... Also, damage doesn't work in decimals, right? Like, the damage in Honkai Impact doesn't work in decimals. No damage, no game that I play works in decimals. So a 0.1 increase doesn't do anything. It's... What? That's so weird. It's also really bad. It's really bad. No one's ever going to use that. Like, I wouldn't even use that if it was the only thing I had. Today, Act 3 released? Really? Oh, no. Well, actually, that's alright. Maybe the whole week. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, we just do part 1, part 2, part 3. Alright. Is it 5 stages across the board everywhere? Oh, no, part 3 is not out. Okay. Well, I don't want to dilly-dally, ladies and gentlemen, because, I don't. Let's get into it. Let's get into... not my favorite series of, arcs, you know. Chapter 35, what is it, 36, 37, and 38. Not my favorite series of chapters and whatnot, but we're still gonna push on. It's a collector stigma, not important. Oh, but you should at least try to make them useful. That's like a detriment to the team, because it actually doesn't do anything. Okay, before we actually start, like, I understand collector stigma, but I'm pretty sure all the other collector stigma, if I can speedily find it, have their uses. Like these ones are not over. Are these ones the collector ones? I'll just assume that these ones are. Like, come on, at least 25%. Percentages, whatever. Where is it? Is it anywhere near here? No. Not in here. Who is this for? Oh, that's, Asuka. Oh, hello. Nice. At least make it useful. It's terrible. Oh, these are collector stigmas. No? Yeah, these are the collector stigmas, yeah. At least self-physical damage increase and physical if bleeding, more physical. Like, this is a usable piece on Susanna. This... it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. No one's ever going to use it anyway. Where's the chapter? Let's go. It might be plus 0.1 times, and it's worded terribly, which would make it a 10% team damage. Yeah, it might be that. But what are the... You know what, though? Mihoyo is notorious for wording things atrociously. All of their wording in both Honkai, Genshin, and even HSR sometimes is phrased. It's like not the wording, the phrasing. It's the phrasing, how it's structured, and like what it could imply, but what it doesn't actually mean. It's pretty bad in these games. But no gacha game that I've played these days has it good. I was reading, I was playing Aethergazer, what is it, 2 nights ago, 1 night ago, I don't know exactly remember when. But I was reading Ashura's abilities, because I've got Ashura now. I did a standard on... a pull on stand, and I got Ashura. And it's just like... Yeah, you get like a buff, Fire Fetter or some crap, and then it's like, if you have it, but then there's no way to know where you get it from. Bro, gacha games just don't know how to word. It's like, you get it here, but you don't get... There's no way to get it, and it means that if you have it, you get buffed and more fire damage, but again, no way to know where you get it from, and it's like, oh, come on, man. Just rambling now, though. Anyway, we're gonna get story. As per usual, how the story mode works and how I do story mode is I just do the story. I might not interact with chat as much, but we're just gonna read through the whole story, have a bit of fun, you know, understand quantum mechanics and whatnot, and just gonna go straight through all of part 1 first and foremost. So, let's get into it. Whew. Ooh. Okay. Oh, the classic signature Mihoyo white screen. She heard a subtle sound, as if someone had stepped onto solid ground. Someone was breathing deeply, presumably nervously, before her. After a few seconds of silence, they had returned to the all-too-familiar mind room. Seely? The instant she saw the person she had been searching for, she couldn't contain her excitement and instinctively, like, just absolutely did a judo's German suplex on her. And reached out to her. Did the anime gasp? Finally, they could see you. Very cool. Very cool. Let me turn that down. Because I don't want to hear just people speaking. We finally get to meet. Looking at the elated girl in front of her, she didn't make the usual sarcastic remarks, but instead relaxed herself to feel the warmth that she finally regained. Speaking of which, is this the longest time we've been apart? It's more like the only time, because even at that time on the moon, I could sense you. But that doesn't matter anymore because we've finally met. This must be a good start. I'm pretty sure you're the only person alive who can laugh at this moment. But this is what I'm thinking. Don't you agree with me? You know what? No, I don't actually agree with you. I don't think you're wrong, but I do think you look at things too positively. Yeah, dude, I hate optimism. It's so bad. Something that's happened once is no miracle. Oh, remember that. Because then Vita or someone's gonna come in like, hey, something that's happened once is no miracle. How are you feeling? You're in the so-called underworld. What can happen to me, or do you actually think I could die in this stupid place? You must have imagined terrible things if you're hugging me so tightly. Oh. Gomena Sai. The girl immediately let her go. Oh my god, Seely is shocked that Seely listened to Seely. Let's get down to business. The two girls further exchange the situation of Country of Iron Sand and Salt Snow Holy City and the encounters in their journey. I feel like they could have just actually given the two places names instead of like calling them weird things. Salt Snow Holy City. Just call it like, I don't know, Farador. I don't know, give it a name. Combine the information you provided and Professor Rock's surmise. Isn't this all still the work of Hare? Seely shook her head lightly. Compared to a planner, Mistolins, more like an executor. No, executor? That word, pronunciation? Or even a spectator. From start to finish, she's never shown us true hostility. Her actions tend to be either a test or guidance. This also applies to her friend Prometheus. And as for what those ambiguous actions stand for, I think they might have something to do with Mistolins saving the underworld. That's no reason for her to toss us here from the real world. Haven't we seen enough scums that claim to be selfless and just in Siberia? Selfless and just in Siberia. Who's that implying? I didn't even know Seely was in Siberia. Oh, true, she was. Besides, the residents of Iron Sand are all dead. Wisps are everywhere. They yap about how the sage will give them new life, but we've been through what happened at Colosseum. Does the answer that Otto arrived at 500 years of searching have anything to do with the general understanding of revival? Seely, even a kid knows the dead can't be brought back to life. Of the two people you mentioned, one is an idea and one is an AI. They know this better. It's kind of like a funny way to put it. Out of the two people that are currently in our way, one of them is just the formation of an idea in a physical form, and the other one is literally a robot. Wow, what a team. Unless they want to pull something else, like reviving a soul in a borrowed body. Well, I don't think so, actually. Anyway, Mistolin isn't as bad as we make her out to be, or she wouldn't have guided us to the border village in Salt Snow Holy City. Are you saying she foresaw our reunion now? No chance. This is the second time she's taken advantage of us. You really need to be more cautious. Okay. Then again, why didn't Susanna go back? She was showing signs of being kicked back to the real world by the Sea of Quanta. I'm guessing Hare thwarted the process when it was too close to the completion. This should be the reason that we ultimately entered different bubble universes, but we don't have proof to say this is connected to Hare's actions. Otherwise, it could only be the rules that Professor Rock mentioned. Who's Professor Rock again? Schrodinger. That's the one, Schrodinger. Shoot, forget about those baseless things. Our priority is to meet up in reality as soon as possible. Professor Rock said if we can overlap between the two bubble universes, she might pass through it in some way and help us locate you. She did it, but what comes after that is the real problem. Jesus Christ. Turn it down and they become louder somehow. She did it was the real problem. Salt Snow Holy City and Country of Iron Sand look like the glass bulbs at both ends of an hourglass. If we want to enter another bubble universe, we must fight gravity to touch the sky of our worlds. skies in quotations there. Interesting. It might be easy to start from the tower in Salt Snow Holy City, but that's exactly where Misthalin and Prometheus are inviting us to. This is getting much more tiresome. I say we should blow up the entire world. Is that what she's going to suggest? Some sort of act of violence. Why don't I? Oh. Oh, she died on the spot. Heart attack. No, the cholesterol. No, Seely's disappeared. Dun dun dun. That's pretty scary. Oh. Just let this sequence play by itself for a second. That was the end of the sequence. I got kidnapped. Where are you? Where are you, Seely? There was no response. In the endless darkness of the mind room, there was only a soul who had returned to loneliness. Meanwhile, on a brighter side, Shigure Kira was just eating a lollipop. Oh no. Are you okay, Seely? I'm fine, sorry for making everyone worry. That's a relief. If Susanna didn't say you might be contacting the other Seely, I would have sung to wake you up. What'd I say? She was doing something idle. Idle-like. About this, Susanna's right. But just now, something invisible poured into the room where we were communicating. Then Seely went into a panic, and no matter how much I called out to her, she ignored me, as if I had vanished right in front of her. Oh. Oh, I know. Something like a one-way mirror was between you two, so the other Seely couldn't see you, but you could see her. But a mirror that's totally soundproof and can't be detected? I've never heard of it. I don't want to put any ideas in their heads, but I think some mysterious natures are at play. No matter how you put it, it can't be a real mirror. So we've come to the end of the road again. Not exactly. Before our communication got cut off, Seely and I had already exchanged intel. For example, Kira-senpai's friend, Dr. Schrodinger, is in that world now. I couldn't have contacted Seely without her and the Hirsch of Sentience's help. So the doctor's over there, eh? We needn't worry too much. There must be a solution, because Schrodinger is known to solve problems. And maybe you got cut off because of the light salt you're holding is out of juice. Oh. You want a new chunk of salt light salt? There should be some left in the abandoned warehouse. Oh, yeah, true hair enters. That would be unnecessary. I don't want to pour cold water on this shitty parade. But switching light salts is an extraneous move? Dude, they just pull out these fucking words. Just, what does that even mean? Extraneous? Extraneous. Just say, like, difficult or something, you know what I mean? I'm assuming that means difficult or hard. Some sort of a hurdle. Just say hard or difficult, you know? Extraneous move. Fuck off. You again. Prometheus is occupied with something, and I happen to be free, so I came on her behalf. Listen here, Misthalin. You said when we finally realize that issue, we'll find the answer to all the secrets. But now we face more and more mysteries. Are you really not going to give us a due explanation? That's exactly what I came for. All in all, if communication across two worlds comes at a price, it wouldn't only manifest on a chunk of light salt. Ooh. What do you mean by that? Miss Vita, what's your impression of the so-called sage? For no apparent reason, Misthalin shot the Salt Snow Holy City native a peculiar question. Good observation, Susanna. It's to help you understand what I'm going to tell you. She covered her mouth and chuckled in a seemingly unintentional manner, as if hiding some sort of apology in her palm. After all, for someone who had made her choice, ruminating on emotions would only make the price more subjective. Why not tell me your impression of her, Miss Vita? Right, in my opinion, no, in everyone's opinion, the sage is omnipotent and omniscient. She lives a secluded life, which makes her venerate her all the more. Let's say the second sage appears in the Salt Snow Holy City. What will everyone think? Is that even possible? By common sense, it's impossible. That's why once it all really happens, it'll disrupt the world to some degree. And with an earnest face, Misteltein walked slowly towards Seelie, punched her in the face, and said, "Get wrecked, nerd. What I will tell concerns rules. In the real world you live in, the cocoon of finality is the rule that dominates Honkai. In the 13 bubble universes that Prometheus and I have visited, Honkai functions in other manners. Rules everywhere, yet almost indiscernible. On when someone shakes them, do they leisurely reveal themselves, such as now? My communication with Seelie unwittingly shook the rules of these bubble universes. But the rules you talked about. There exists a sage that can travel between life and death. This is one of the rules in the two bubble universes, and a fact that every Salt Snow Holy City resident knows. In other words, if this fact that defines who the sage is... Did I read that right? It's this fact, rather. Not if. It's this fact that defines who the sage is. So you've noticed. Inside the girl named Seelie live two souls that act as one, and the moment they establish a connection, they happen to be in different worlds. In this way, Seelie met the only requirement to become a sage, which is to travel between life and death, making her the second sage. Now, I'm not gonna, like, I'm not a massive lore fiend, but, like, the red and black Seelie isn't real. Right? She's just, like, kind of like a... She doesn't have, like, a real body and shit like that. You know, I'm not gonna question it. Act as one! Isn't the Seelie in the underworld her twin sister with the same name? No. Well, that's just the story I made up. Sorry, Vita. I'm sorry for not telling you the truth. I knew something was off, I just didn't know the other Seelie is actually another Seelie. We should have just given her a name ages ago when, like, Veliona was asking for a name. We should have just given her a name that isn't fucking Seelie. Maybe that would have fixed it. I'll let you know the details later, but I digress. Mistelin, what are the consequences of shaking up the rules, disturbing reality? What's up? Currently, in addition to the two Seelies being unable to contact each other, many anomalies have occurred in Salt Snow Holy City and Country of Iron Sand. They only talked like 20 seconds ago. The whole world is shaken. And I'm sure you already know who's the only person that can quell this chaos. You sound convincing, but we're in a deserted border village and can't contact the other Seelie, so we have no way to verify whether you're telling the truth or not. Oh, Susanna, you've grown. In that case, before we go, I'll add an extra verification step that'll open your eyes to reality. And as if to make her words more convincing, Misteltein put her hands behind her back and once again backed away from the girls until she thought she was safe. Well, since Seelie has become the second sage, you should have no problem sensing the situation of the two worlds. To my knowledge, all you need to do is turn your attention from the other Seelie to the one-way mirror that's impeding your communication. The girl closed her eyes. The moment she turned her attention away, the black and white mind room shrunk into a cube the size of a palm. It floated above the palm while the girl studied it from the top down, until the invisible foreign body that seeped into the room revealed itself. So the one-way mirror's true identity is the white light at the end of the tunnel. Seelie's dead, boys. Ah, GG's. Head to the Salty Holy City, whatever. Oh, God, I hate that name so much. Just call it like Farador, man. The streets are empty. Where is everyone going? Oh my God, we're gonna visit Seelie's inauguration. Seelie's inauguration. Ooh. What are the monsters doing? Very cool. Can't kill them, but they're gonna come alive as soon as I, The state I'm in, I can't do anything. I guess maybe like an apparition, and that's why we can go to the cities, because we're like being a sage and whatnot, you know what I mean? We're being a sage. We're dead if the monsters catch us. Where's this happening to me? I only came to shop groceries. Where do they come from? This city's the center, the part closest to the tower. Run faster! Whoa! This reminds me, why would the Oracle let monsters run amok in the cities? Could it be? Don't think too much about it, the Oracle must be on its way. I sprained my foot all of a sudden. Oh, I told you to focus. Don't sprain your foot whilst we're... That's a classic movie thing, right? We need to run quickly. Run! Oh, I've sprained my ankle. My foot's broken. It's disintegrated. I have no legs. It's classic movie things, dude. It all of a sudden happens as soon as we need them. And if this continues, or they'll get caught by monsters, rather. Judging by their conditions, there was no doubt that what she feared would happen if nobody interfered. And reality had deprived her of the right to get involved. What else could she do? Well, she was forced into the position of a spectator. Alright, in my opinion, no. In everyone's opinion, the sage is omnipotent and omniscient. She lives a secluded life, which allows makes us venerate her all the more, rather. Ooh, omnipotent and omniscient. Snap of my fingers and everyone's dead. You can fight for the sage. Huh. That's one way to introduce the, That's one way to introduce the other character. That's definitely a way. This is pretty interesting. An interesting way to foreshadow the future for those who are unaware. I won't say more, but there's obviously spoilerinos, but kind of a cool way to do it. Wowzers. Pretty cool. Gameplay's clunky as always, but nice. Oh. Ooh. Now to check on the country of Iron Sand. Teleport. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh my god! It's Seely and Senti! Ooh. I feel lighter. You're an idiot. Can someone... Ah, I love that. I feel a bit lighter. You're stupid. How can someone without a form become lighter? Professor Rock, what's happening? We've piled so many moon rocks together, but their light still keeps dimming. Is their time up or something? I don't know. I can't explain this phenomenon based on the info I've collated. Use the word collected! Collated? Just do collect... Just adding words just to make it fucking weirdly complicated and people not understand. Oh. Are you still contacting your other self, Seely? Great, she shut herself in her world. She shut herself in her little world again. But it's fine, this is the pain I must endure before being born anew. I believe in the sage. Didn't we agree to welcome new life together? How can you go without me? Everyone, shut up. You already dead? What's the point of weeping and sobbing? Oh no, Seely, don't scare them. Stop screaming, get out of here. The moment she finished, a small, warm, white glow emerged on her palm. When she reached out to the wisp that was fading away, the glow merged into it. Soon the wisp regained its radiance like a flame that had been given firewood. There's power. The sage has made her power felt. Please hit us again. Punch me in the face. What are you talking about? You're in no position to demand Miss Seely. You should thank her. Thank you, Miss Seely. So they're both a sage. Sure. Oh, you could do that. I didn't know I could, actually. It wasn't so much a sudden realization as creating from nothing. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, I don't understand what I did. I just wanted to chide them. Chide! What's a chide? Cheed? What is, bruh? Soothe? Calm? Shut up? Say, use one of those. Chide, bro. What? Chide? What the fuck? Why do they just use random words? Like, okay, it probably means the correct thing, let's be honest. It means what it means. But nobody fucking knows what chide means. That no one uses it in a sentence in everyday life. Just use daily words. This is the first time they've ever used chide in this whole game. And I don't know what it means. I'm assuming soothe. I'm assuming soothe. Oh, that's so aggravating. It keeps getting iffier. That's just slang, so... I'll stop now, knowing she's alright is enough. The girl stopped sensing. After personally experiencing the abnormalities in Salt No Soli Solidly and Countrywine Sand, she had no reason to stay in this borderland. Whether the chaos was created by the tacit communication as Mr. Lin said, she must act now. However, she got a migraine really quickly. The moment she left the one-way mirror and returned to reality, an inexplicable pain overwhelmed her senses. She felt as if she was in a storm of ice and fire, where every time she breathed, razor-sharp ice would slit her throat, and leaping flames would scorch her skin. What a descriptor. She held onto the stone railing at her side and tried to adjust her breathing, but her eyelids still powerlessly drooped, like butterflies whose wings were suddenly whetted. What's wrong? Nothing, I'm just, feeling a bit ill. It was obviously a lie to put her friends at ease. She could clearly feel that the energy inside her was attracted to something beyond her, something she couldn't fight against at the moment. Listen, Mr. Lin, what the fuck have you done? Kira-senpai, this is likely a side effect of using the sage's power because I'm the sage and you're not. Don't lie. We need to head to the tower immediately. I'm happy to hear you think that way, but I owe you an apology emotionally and rationally. That's no side effect, and you shouldn't have suffered as such. If only I were more adamant and gave up the idea of testing you. After all, for the second sage of the High Tower, that rule is still a constraint that cannot be ignored. Rule? Yes. A flashbang. On the path of salvation, the sage reached a place farther away. She thus understood. The one chosen by the tower will also be trapped by the tower. Ooh. Good line. That's a pretty good line. Stage 38-1. That was 38-1. Holy crap, that was a long one. To collate, to gather and put together 50 behind. That's all good, man. To collate. I don't know, they should have just used collected or something. A breeze brushed past their eyes, leaving a sweet scent behind. It was strawberries. They knew the distance was short. The distant was short. Classic typo. Yet it still felt like a long dream. When they awoke, they were already under the tower. Oh, Seely's gonna... This is Seely right now. Just, The tower. I think they could have made it a bit taller. Are you feeling unwell again, Seely? No. I just zoned out. I was just baffled. I haven't recovered to peak condition, but I'm already much better than I was in the border village. Speaking of which, though, where did Mr. Lin go? Well, she entered the tower already on her own when you were zoning out, as if her mission ended the moment she teleported us here. Well, according to my earlier sensing, her real mission might have just started. We don't have much time. We should enter the tower. If you go in with us, you might get hurt. Mr. Lin sent us here to quell the chaos, but it wouldn't have happened if she didn't get the two Seelies lost in the two worlds in the first place. I rarely see Susanoo so assertive. What are you worried about me for? That's because you're a civilian. That's true, Vita. Please stay here. It's for your own safety. If this tower is a trap, we have a tough battle to fight. Okay, well, I'll listen to you then. But you also have to be more careful in there. I heard that the sage has placed many traps to keep people out. Trapsu? Like a trapdoor or a tripwire? The myths boil down to the tower is as dangerous and complex as an ancient monarch's tomb. An ancient monarch? Is what, as kings and queens? Then we need to be very careful. Okay. The reason I say they should have made it a bit taller is because, like, it doesn't feel overwhelming when you look up. Like, if I could look up, I would, but it doesn't feel overwhelming because I think the tower part of it is very small, and then you have just the crystal that goes pretty high. So I think they should have made the tower part a bit taller, and then the crystal be at the very top. Sage of the Tower, there must always be a Lich King. Oh, it kind of is. No, that's kind of the trope they're going for. There must always be a Lich King. And then, what's his face? Who put the crown on? Who put the crown? I can't remember his name. Like, Bolvar Fordragon puts the crown on. There must always be a Lich King. Mistlin is not here. What a surprise. She's a capricious one. If she was able to teleport us under the tower, why did she teleport us to the top of the tower to meet the sage? Well, I asked her to do it. Just as she needed to add an extra verification step for you, I need to know you in my own way. Outliers from afar. Sugma. Are you the sage? Yes. Before you begin knowing, can I ask some questions? Go. You know what's happening outside, right? Yes. Sensing changes is the basic ability of the sage. It's just such a basic thing to do is sensing. So judging by your calmness, you know the perfect solution to it. I'm afraid nothing's perfect, but yes, this is why Mistlin invited you. Then in this case, is it still important to know if you need our help? Wouldn't it be faster to just ask? Besides, you must have heard what kind of people we are from Mistlin and Prometheus. We aren't... Well, pardon me for not agreeing, actually. The words of others are ultimately biased, and working with you, whom I do not yet know, requires very much a lot of caution. I don't understand. Sage of the Higher Tower. You're the one who made us come, yet the one wasting time now. If you can sense the situation outside, you should understand the severity of it. Do you know? Even though monsters have invaded the city and souls are perishing, the people are still chanting your name. How can you still act like an outsider? As if the chaos and the people who believe in you don't matter to you. I don't want to believe. When their lives are in danger, you're still following the routine unhurriedly to maintain a needless sense of superiority. Sage, if you really want to resolve the problem, you should skip the unnecessary steps and work with us. Sealy just kind of right then in that whole spiel sounded like a used car salesman, just trying to really convince someone else. She was trying to gaslight the sage. Sealy just felt like it right there, just trying to gaslight the sage quite heavily, and very proud of her. Very proud of her. Oh my God, Sealy, you chose to not answer. Well, aside from deepening the misunderstanding between us, my response serves no purpose. Please remember, well, that knowing you is necessary to resolving the problem. So do your best and be quick. I'll be waiting for you at the top of the tower. We don't have to fight! And this is a great time for Mihoyo to add a tower system. This right here is their opportunity to add a tower-based mechanic where you go through like thousands of floors of difficult content, just for the sake of content. I read this drivel that they're speaking right now. Oh yeah, we don't have like other Sealy, so we don't actually have another. Can't use the ultimate. That's a bit annoying actually. Can't use an ultimate. I shouldn't make excuses, blah 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 blah. Oh my God, Sealy's here too. Wow. As you keep up with the pace and move forward, have you forgotten what I told you? Always move forward. Sounds like a bit of an Eren Yeager moment right there. Tatakai. Always move forward. Dude, Attack on Titan has inspired so many things. Whenever anyone wants to fight or move forward or have freedom, it's an Attack on Titan moment. How is she helping us? It's fine, this fight will be over soon. There's a lot I want to tell you. Okay. Wait, was this? No, this wasn't. Why was it doing ice damage? This is not that version of Sealy, is it? Or maybe it is. It feels good to fight alongside you again, Sealy. Now you know I'm really good. But what's this battle about? In this tower? Why can we, Listen, I don't know either. Was it maybe pure luck? No. Was it too coincidental to be a coincidence? Well, who knows? Wow, you left out Professor Rock. What about the Hirsch of Sentience? Are you really not going to mention the key role she played? Okay, listen to be quiet. Don't disrupt the channel that's finally restored. And can you not use your power to eavesdrop on others? It was the Hirsch of Sentience talking? Whoa. Wait, you can hear me? Yeah, actually, you're on like speaker right now, so we can all hear you. And your voice becomes clearer the closer we are to Sealy. Sealy, could you please tell me what happened after everyone lost contact? Well, I became the Sage, I used my power to save the world, I snapped my fingers, it combusted, you know, just classic Sage things. They quickly exchanged information. I knew it's related to the tower. Spatially, the tower that Sealy is in is closer to us. Besides, you realize what Hare said about the rules by entering the tower, which is becoming the ones chosen by the tower. And we admit the Sage's power is real, then it's entirely possible to establish contact like this and borrow the power of Sealy on our side. But if those are fact, why would that Sage want us to fight? Sealy also pointed out that the commoners outside need our help more. Well, I don't know that Sage well enough, however, if we look at the things more positively, perhaps the rules of this world are more special than we knew. Yeah, I'm trying to think about that, but it's probably like the reason a lot of shit's probably happening in the cities and whatnot is because rules are broken right now. Some rules have already been broken, or some rules aren't being followed to a T, and thus there's calamity and chaos going out. Probably the appearance of Sealy is the thing that caused a lot of the problems, I'm gonna presume, or caused a lot of the larger problems. Because if rules are important, follow them, and something's broken, shit's gonna happen. Could the Sage herself be? So what's your next move? Go stabilize the whips in the border village with Sealy to buy some time. Buy you some time. But we already have a lot of things on our hands. We should mind our own business unless it's necessary. Okay, let's go. That's at least my initial impressions of what's happening, is that some rule was broken and shit's everywhere. A flag! Oh my god, no. It's more of like a banner. I wouldn't say it's a flag. It's kind of like a... What is that, standard? No, it's not a standard. A stabard? No, some shit like that. I can't remember its name. Scabbard. I talked with Bronya about the fight between her and Mistalin. There's no doubt about it, this is Mistalin's flag. So what do? Take this flag down and teach her its owner a lesson. Here she comes. What? It's not down, it's in her hands. Oh. It was a trap! What's your problem? Actually, Prometheus and I are against knowing slowly. But the Sage insisted for some reason. Given that we're currently on the same side and she's been kind enough to take me in, I can only come here to help her know Sealy and resolve the problem. So you still decided to hinder us? No. I'll make some accommodations for you. You can see them as compensation for not adequately explaining the rules before. And as you know, I'm capable of directly teleporting you to the top of the tower. But cheating isn't beneficial to understanding, so I came up with a compromise. There are 3 bubbles before you. Among them, only one will teleport you there after being popped. The other 2 serve as a small penalty for mischoosing. I can't take it anymore. You are the Herstra of the Void, so is this possible? Or you evolved over the past 6 months? Of course not. I only use the vestiges of Project Stigma. Such vestiges are rather hard to find in a stable world. So that's why you could throw me into the Sea of Quanta? Indeed, I only wanted to throw you somewhere farther away, such as the border village, but as I had come here and did know the coordinates, I misthrew you to the depths of the Sea of Quanta. Sounds like a pretty big miss, I'll be honest with you. Missed by a actual mile. And now through the Sage's eyes across 2 worlds, I've collected enough coordinates and thus can do what you believe only the Herstra of the Void can. Does that make sense?
空の律者のような能力を手に入れられたのよ。
Does that make sense? I get, you know, I'm fine with it, but Misthalin is just kind of showing, and she has just every power known to mankind. But hey, fair enough.
どうかしら。
So will you accept my little accommodations? I'm not playing your little games. Wait, Zealy, what if she really wants to help us? It's not a huge problem.
どうやら
Looks like you've agreed. Very well. There's no right answer, is there? There's just no right answer. We'll go left. Yep.
大丈夫。次が正解の確率がより高くなったし。
This is
ちょっ
God, I haven't used this character in a
と
while.
あの女の話を信じてるの？
Oh my god, I have not used these characters.
受け取ってみて。なんとか片付けたね。次はこのシャボン玉にしよう。
Yeah, you have to get two wrong, don't you?
私たち。
Oh, is that a new enemy? No, it's not.
ね
No! Goddamn shields.
3つとも盗聴に行けない。
One shot counted as 2 hits. Interesting.
え。じゃじゃーん。
Boom. This enemy never made much sense to me. Like, what's he doing?
準備はいいですか？
What's Blood doing, huh? Man's just tasering you. Bit obnoxious.
やった。
Boom. Da-doo. Time for the right bubble. None of them were right bubbles, were they, actually? No, I'm just thinking about it. None of them were right. Knew it.
そんな。ほら、あの女を信じちゃダメだってば。キラ先輩、どうして嬉しそうにしてるんですか？全力で頑張ります。ごめんなさい。えい、や、シュッシュ
本当に扉があるなんて。
What's a door doing here?
それでこれは一体。
入ってみよう。
Let's go
能力で感知してるん
inside.
だけど危険はないはずだよ。
Is that a new boss? No, never mind. Just looked a bit different. Oh, it was from the back that we saw him first. I can't remember his name, but him. It's a tank!
何？
A mecha tank! Looks too surreal.
さすがにシュールすぎない？テスラ博士が。
Looks very similar to the MHT3 PAX designed by Dr. Tesla, but I don't think the MHT3 PAX has ever been manufactured. Obtaining everlasting peace through absolute firepower, huh? It's a tasteful name. Yokoso, watashi no Soul Society. Welcome to the Fluoride Minister. Which means Mr. still lied to us. Why is she trying to trick people, eh? To be honest, Mr. didn't lie about the portal at all. In fact, she's done everything she could for you. Despite completely ignoring the relationship between the process design and the visitor's emotional curve, the back door she opened without question allowed you to skip the sage's 10 obstacles. Anyway, all it takes for you to reach the top of the floor and confront the sage is to pass my test.
プロメテウスさん。
As you see, why did she do this? I had the same question when I first missed them. This is perhaps her compassion for the newborn, her care for life itself, or merely a little experiment in her search for self. Of course, a synopsis is unlikely to satisfy you, but no matter, we will have plenty of chances to get along. Now let us return to the subject and commence the Dark Lord ordeal.
魔王の試練。私ならできる。必ずできる。緊張しない。集中しましょう、スーサナ。
Not really a synergetic team, is it? Not really a team that works together.
平和の使者。制限解除。アンコールよ。
こ
Am I meant to be outside of this arena? I don't know if I'm meant to be outside the arena. Oh, I can get in, okay. Interesting.
テスラ3027よりもずっと強いわ。とにかくこっちに集中しよう。ハートを狙う。
Ba-dum, bam, 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 bum, 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 boo. There you go. Prometheus, your challenge is done. It's a bit weird though. A few things that have happened in this the past few dialogues. The fight was settled. Congratulations on passing and defeating number 17's powered transporter. A tank so powerful is only your powered transporter. Well, the projection of the mechanical lifeform showed a frustrated face. Whenever I couldn't manage the workload, I'd pass the chores to Mr. Lin. This did relieve my burden, but also added to it inadvertently. For example, when it came to naming special equipment and materials, her philosophy contradicts my taste. What's that philosophy? Number 17 must mean, no packaging is the best packaging. Don't panic, Shigure. I only came to remind you that the door to the top floor has opened, but you arrived much later than I expected. What happened? You're just trying to say that we have bad luck. Her teasing chuckles soon diminished, in the spacious hall. A golem with her was Prometheus and her powered transporter. Only a door wrapped in purple light appeared as where they stood. Nice. And this also doesn't take us to the top, does it? Flashbang. Do you know what I like the most? I like fairy tales the most. They create fantasies, sow hope in barren hearts, and celebrate beauty with sincere blessings. Isn't this fucking what's-her-face's voice? The infant lady? Fucking... Or is this Sealy? I can't tell. They call to people who love life to enter one magnificent world after another, and once that sound resonates through their souls, they reveal the truth. That is... Well, even though she had gone through many baffling events, the sight behind the door still stunned her. A girl who closely resembled her was talking to her other self, and her appearance didn't disturb their conversation. The invisible one-way mirror seemed to stand before her again. If I recall correctly, this is the second time we meet. Well, I said the dead can't be brought back to life, now it looks like my knowledge was limited. But I don't mind you dying again. A red scythe sliced through the air toward the girl's delicate neck. She didn't intend to tangle with her, so she put her full power into the first strike. The assault ended in an instant. But the thing that dissipated wasn't the body, but the scythe. I've grown too since we parted. Oh, what do you want? I just want you to persuade someone for me. You're looking at the wrong person. I don't have the time for that. The mysterious girl only smiled to the other Sealy that had been watching them. Then the one-way mirror disappeared. Silly, not you too. No, this place is supposed to be our mind room. Let's get rid of this outsider, she's too annoying. You may have misunderstood. Contrary to the last time, now you're all in my mind, and who I want you to persuade is none other than the original Sealy. As an outlier of this world, quitting here will be the best choice for you. After all, as a sage, she's tasted the original pain, and the path forward will only bind her further. Only leaving can bring true freedom and happiness. Boo-hoo, what does that have to do with you? You know that so well, don't you? Whether by choice or by force, what's happening is leading you to the sage. She's slowly learned all about you, yet you still know little about her. On the other hand, she doesn't even need to leave the tower to be worshipped. You know Sealy isn't a crybaby or a dummy anymore. Dummy. Oftentimes, she handles herself more maturely and bravely than you. These two seemingly unrelated things have given you a vague premonition. The faith of the masses and a heart that is selfless would only conceive a flower that would surely wither. Its fragrance is rich, but to smell it, one must prepare to face death. Even so, you will oppose me and let her meet the sage, which is disregarding her future. That's her business, not yours. Every time I speak your mind, you resist. Does this mean you haven't made any progress since that time? Or should I say you haven't even acknowledged yourself yet? Are we finished here? Is the conversation over? The girl who remained silent stepped between them.
あなたが誰なの
I
か
don't know who you
わ
are
からないし
or what your relationship with the sage is, but I have one thing to say. Just as I won't wholly accept the sage's claims, Seely and I will go forward. Nobody will buy your claim here and now.
問題を
The
解決
sage
する
said
方法がある
she has a way to resolve the problem. Maybe because she's done good for the people, I'm willing to trust her on a basic level before meeting her.
そしてあなたは
But you seem to only take interest in us.
私たちに興味が
I can make guesses about your identity based on
で
that.
もそれは
But ironically, that has nothing to do with you.
私がこれから
And as for the pain and suffering you said I will suffer, the girl clutched the hand of her other self.
私たちはこの世
We
界
aren't from this
の
world,
人じゃないし
and nor do we want to become the
本当
sage.
の賢者
But
でも
in our world, a selfless heart once united all people. Let faith transcend death and bloom the flower of hope that would never wither through generations.
永遠に枯れない希望の花を咲かせ
Sure.
私はただ
I just believe the people of the other worlds are able to do the same. For the reason I'm happy to help them, I'm not doing this out of selflessness. On the contrary, I'm selfishly thinking what we believe in is the best. I want to do what our friend has done, and even do it better.
ええ私たちなら
Yes,
もちろん
sure.
もっとうまく
We'll do
で
it
きる
better.
心の空
The
間
mind space is shaken. Is it that my will still can't overcome them?
彼女たちにごめん
Sorry, I wasn't helpful.
親愛
My dear older sister. Older? Sure. Why not?
何はともあれ、君たちはここに
Okay, we've
たどり
reached
着
the
い
sage.
たならば、それ相応の尊重を君たちに与えよう。見ての通り、私は一人目の高等の賢者であり、君たち二人目に対して、様々な
It's pretty gnarly face you got there. Pretty gnarly, what the fuck would that even be? Pretty gnarly holographic face you got. As you can see, to your second, I'm the first sage and the one who has placed many obstacles in your way.
きっと
You must have many questions about me, so before we begin arguing pointlessly, please allow me to make a simple statement. The sage's words were as calm as a black feather falling into a lake. Does the color of the feather matter? It didn't stir any waves, nor would it sink easily. But the oracle that symbolized death and new life behind her added overwhelming weight to her
も
words.
ちろんです
Sure, let's have a bit of an exchange.
理解してくれ
Thank you for your understanding. Your two companions have been guided to safety by Mistlin, and the voices of the Doctor and the Hershja have been blocked by the power of the Sage for now. Am I supposed to thank your thoughtfulness on their behalf?
私はただ
I only hope our first meeting, the meeting between sages, will not be disturbed by
賢者同士
anyone.
のは
Drop the act, buddy. I don't even need to bring up what happened before. Didn't your goon just pull us into a small black room for no reason at all? She didn't make any excuses, only skipping the question by remaining silent before speaking again.
これから話すの
What
は
I will tell is what
君たちが
concerns you the
最も
most.
混乱
Neither chaos nor anomaly can describe the influence of two sages coexisting. Judging from my experience, this will be an irreversible collapse.
あなたの経験
Judging from your experience?
もっと正確に言え
Which comes from my practice, to be
私
exact.
個人口頭で
Every time I leave the tower, I suffer unimaginably. Every time I return to the tower, the pain and damage is quickly
し
healed.
かし塔に戻るとミステルと
Mistlin and Prometheus define such restriction on my movement as a rule. I, however, use my experience to confirm the price I must pay for shaking it. If this rule only affects a small area, and its cost is easy to limit, none of this would have happened.
つまりあなたは
So you aren't born knowing all the rules of
二つ
two
の世界
worlds?
のあらゆる規則を知ってるわけじゃあ
Then in your eyes, what could the solution
問
be?
題を口頭が賢者を縛り付けるなら
If the tower does not allow its sage to leave, I will stay in the tower. If the world does not allow two sages to coexist, I will eradicate a sage. Isn't this just a fancy way of saying you want to fight?
私とゼーレ
Between Seely and I, only one will live.
この戦いは
And what's more, this battle already began when Seely stepped into the tower.
私はただ
I was merely hinted by Mistlin to compel you two to fight single-mindedly through a repelling measure.
二人が心を何しろ
After all, the tower itself is part of the sage's authority. The higher you go, the more it flows into you.
そして
Now that Seely has reached the top floor, the authority you hold is no longer much different from mine.
私たちに
Do we have no other choice?
ないんです
Or do we have another one? Such as me taking my own life or surrendering without fighting? If the world allows the people enough time, I may have found a better way. However, We don't have much time. Select the difficulty. You fail the stage when any character dies on normal and hard. Oh, we probably have to do it on hard, right? We gotta do it on hard? I'd say we do it on hard. We'll try my best on hard. You and I have no choice at this moment. Prepare for combat. Okay, our battle is inevitable.
本当にそう決めたの？お姉ちゃん。
Have I thought this
この
through?
ままだと死んでしまう。
You're really gonna ruin yourself.
使命なんて早く忘れた方が。
After trailing a long day, everyone has to surrender to a long night.
最後はこの手で再び生きる。敬虔な心で人々の呼びかけに耳を傾けよう。
Fair enough.
私たちを包囲するつもり？今までの経験だとあの中に本
Whoa,
体が存在。
whoa, my god. Jesus Christ, I wasn't expecting to do that much damage. Oh my god. Oh, you can't restart? Oh, for fuck's sake, Mario. Holy shit, that does a lot of damage. Fucking hell. Oh, do I have to go through that whole sequence again? Oh, thank God. Start the battle now, yes, please. Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. The timing on that's a bit weird. I hate those line beam attacks. I like telegraphs.
今までの経験だとあの中に本体が存在するはずだからよく探そう。
Do 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 do.
お願い、もう一人の私。仕方ないわね。
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, they could have made it a bit more interesting.
私たちの約束のために。
Happy ba ba da bum ba bum bum ba bum ba da bum ba 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 da na ba na 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 ba na na na.
あうんの呼吸か。ならば目を閉じて感じるがいい。亡者の記憶を。
Just gotta do the same thing but find the white
さ
one.
っきみたいに本体を攻撃しよう。
The guy bum 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 ba da 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 da. You really are the second sage, but do you know the difference between life and death? Ooh. We have to reflect her blades. Parry black one and evade white. Okay.
する必要があるみたいだね。慌てず集中しましょう。やった。これはフェイク？騙されないわ。
No, she fooled me.
対応策を間違えたのかな。取るに足りないわね。
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
冷静になろう。
Nope.
それしかできないの？
Hmm? Hmm. Kind of falling asleep, Jesus.
熾烈な世界を見たなら
You seen it crumble firsthand, you ought to know it's not how the world should be. She's using black magic. She's summoning a black hole.
それだけが救済を得られる。
Do 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 do
今度
do.
は2体の紳士だけだね。高等な
Fucking hell! Talk about a bright ass light.
使えなくなったのかしら。
Holy crap!
でも少し様子がおかしいよ。
Don't these enemies usually need that HP loss effect? Do 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 do
生
do
殺
do
与奪
do.
の
Oh.
剣は私の心に。
白黒戦士の攻撃は続けがないわ。
自身の共生関係を修正し続けているからね。
力を受け入れなさい。
A paradigm. Oh, sorry, I have not been reading, by the way. I kind of hate reading during like mid-combat sequences. Not my favorite time to be reading a story.
これらすべての命は
Oh no.
逃げられない。
Those ones are. Oh.
気をつけて。当たったら大変よ。
Am I meant to be doing something? God, no. Oh, it's a solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. It's an eclipse. That was kind of cool.
命が終わるとき、その信仰は揺るがない。君たちは覚悟できているのか。
いい加減にしなさい。
That's kind of cool.
私たちの約束のために。
Okay. Didn't even know I used my second dodge. No damage. Nice. I like it when they move out of it.
で、終わりにしましょう。
Ba-da-bum, ba-na-na-na. Come on, 7 billion damage. Nearly 0. That's pretty interesting. Whoa! 7,000. Oh, 74,000. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-da-da-da. Oh,
終わった。
it's over.
これで
I'm dead now.
ゼーレは本物の高等な賢者になった。めでたし、めでたし。
Seely's the real sage.
最初から。
To be quite fair, we probably shouldn't have killed her. Like that, I feel like we should have predicted that. And the battle that took place at the top of the tower had settled. As in every duel that had been fought in history, the moment one's weapon hit the ground, their death would have been sealed. The only surprising thing was, that the one that was supposed to die showed only peace and tranquility.
高等の賢者。あなた。
Sage,
君たち
you've won, Seely. You have the power to reassure me.
勝敗は決ま
A
る
lost is a lost.
この唯一の
You are the
剣を
one
受
to
け
inherit this authority. Look, it has begun. Despite not fully understanding this power, the two Seelys could feel a certain energy welling up inside them. Yet at the same time, it was drying up on the opposite
あ
side.
なたは
Were you ready for this? Ready to transfer all your power to me? If you knew this, why didn't you just surrender? This would end the collapse in this world earlier, wouldn't it? No, that's not the problem. Although our physical condition is improving, and the world has temporarily stopped collapsing, why is she looking weaker and weaker? She's dead. You're no longer the sage. Shouldn't the rule be balanced again? But your appearance, does handing out the sage's authority mean anything else to you? She wanted to give us that. Silly, don't be so worried about her. Both she and us are only conforming to the rules of this world. She's right. This battle itself, everything that is happening now, the existence of the sage, all confirm to the confirm? Conform, please. One letter, isn't it? Conform to the rules of this world. You sly woman showing up after we've done the fighting. A mortal such as I don't dare interrupt the battle between two sages. What did you mean? Why has the sage become like this? Simply put, to you the sage's authority might only be a power, but to her, it is the energy that sustains her. It's difficult to maintain one's existence for an abnormal stigma. You mean she's another bother? Another bother created by your Project Stigma. Calling someone a bother in their face isn't very polite. And compared with the dense Seelie, the acute Seelie has long noticed it. I can guess it, but I hope you can explain it personally. We have the right to demand an explanation whether as the winners of this fight, or the newborn sage of the tower. That I cannot deny. Okay, Great Sage, what do you think? I will explain everything in a more efficient manner. Through a cinematic, please. The power left should suffice. So this is how we usually do things. As she said so, a light appeared before the two Seelie and it rapidly swelled up. This feeling! Hey, you're not going to... Before they could react, a familiar feeling engulfed them, as if returning to a dream. Okay. You okay? I'm okay. Luckily we aren't thrown to different worlds this time. And it feels basically the same as the trick Mr. Lin played in the beginning. I'm guessing the shades use the power similar to hers. This space is probably a dream she's showing us. Birds of feather. She shouldn't be hostile towards us. This dream can be seen as a projection meant for explaining things. Thus, it shouldn't be harmless. I can't stand you. You got put into a dream when you're still a goody two-shoes. You use something to look around. What I'm saying is, if it's a projection meant for us to see, it must be hiding a message somewhere. We'll dig that message out, and we'll do it together. Okay. Listen, eavesdrop on a bunch of old people. Very, moral. Old man! Are you okay? Hey, old man, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. As I told you not to push yourself, that body of yours is different from the past. Fuck, he's dying. How could I miss the days of prayer? We've been praying all our lives. If we slacked off in these last few days, it would be all for naught. What do you mean last few days? Don't spout nonsense. The Great Sage will guide us where we should go, right? And even if you say that at our age, can we really walk there? Old man, are you okay? Coughs out his actual heart from his mouth. I'm alright, don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'll live. I've seen those whips. Most of them are very devout, and these two people are the odd ones. Ah, yeah, these are the wisps, I guess, before they died. The brewery in this town is on the brink of closing down. Am I going to lose my job again? Can't be helped. The wheat harvest is getting worse by the year. Nobody can afford to drink alcohol anymore. But I realized long ago that I'm not suited for this job. Instead of fiddling with bottles and cans, I'm more suited for talking with others. If I said more during my prayers, do you think the Great Sage will give me the opportunity to open an inn or something? I pray for good harvest every day, but the Great Sage doesn't bestow that upon me. As in such times, how many tourists are you expecting? The great sage lives only in legends. Can he really help us at all? He! Oh, it's a he this time.
高等の賢者がいない世界かしら。道理で魂が抜けてるみたいなのね。
Lucian doesn't have a sage. Okay. It's a he. I wonder who it is. We're still standing there. The monsters have appeared again. They're right in front. Didn't they appear yesterday? I haven't finished my prayers. If the oracles can appear again, who cares about the oracles? Tell that to your grandfather when we get home. They're coming this way. Run!
どうして元凶に怪物がいるのよ。一緒に戦って。はいはい。怪物を倒してからまた調査を再開しよう。
Whoa. I can tell you must be the legendary oracle. Yes, I am. Oh, is that thing on my side or? Oh, that thing is on my side. Nice.
全部あいつのおかげになっちゃったじゃない。
Oh, 130,000. Wow. Pretty good.
ゼレ、ついていってみましょう。
The oracle's running rampant. Let me move. It's her. Vita. Or, sorry, not Vita. Fucking. What's her now? What, does she have a name? No. So it is her.
どうしてあいつ
Why is she ignoring us? I think the people in this dream cannot see us.
この夢は
It's probably because this is a dream used to show the past. Those residents just don't, now didn't react to us either.
これはそうだけど
That being said, these monsters reacted to us, no?
なんでもないわ。
I'm just annoyed at the sage, so since it's the past, it means that the things that are happening in this dream occurred when the sage was just born. That's probably so.
伝説の神様に
Even though she's supposed to be a god in the legends, she was born in such times.
分かった。
Ooh, this is when Project Stigma was executed.
あの女が無意識
That woman somehow created an abnormal stigma that fell into a bubble universe that has a legend about a sage. Therefore, the abnormal stigma accustomed herself with the rules of this bubble universe and became their great sage. Or maybe the sage that originally existed in this world universe had disappeared and an abnormal stigma with a similar power coincidentally took the previous sage's place.
その穴を埋めたって可能性
So
は
essentially what happened was, what happened with Seelie and the sage happened with the sage and the previous sage, but just this time, the person becoming the sage is actually capable of being a sage. Instead of previously, where the abnormal stigma doesn't have the facilities to be a sage, now with Seelie, she's able to be a sage. Convoluted way to explain it. They could have just said that, what I just said, but fair enough. Good job.
とにかく
Regardless, the faith of the people in this universe had already been wavering before the sage had came.
当然よ
Of course, after all, the sage that they worship didn't even exist at this point in time. That would also explain why the abnormal stigma was willing to take on the sage's duty.
よく聞いてみて
And when she first came to the universe, she was confused and didn't know her purpose. The first thing she heard was, "My gosh, it really is the sage. The sage has appeared. Great sage, thank you for defeating the monsters. Great sage. I prayed all my life in hopes that one day I can personally witness you. Oh, great sage." Who is this great sage they're talking about?
私を
I am
剣
sage.
導く
Guide, sage, great sage. Sage. What a terrible way to be like born into the world is people just kind of force their belief onto you, hey? Hey, kind of like the real world. I am the sage of this universe. The scene before their eyes swiftly changed, and the two Seelies realized that they were quickly reviewing the marks that the sage had left on this universe. The entire universe's prayers gathered at the top of the tower. Great sage, please bring us peace. The residential area at the southeast of the Holy City needs 2 more oracles to protect the people. Great sage, please lead me forward. I need an oracle to bring her to the grist mill in the west. They are hiring there. Monsters. Send 4 oracles. So she uses oracles to run errands. Those white fellas have it rough. They've got to be busier than Project Bunny.
まだ効率は悪い
Although it's not really efficient, compared to the time before the sage appeared, this universe does have a better order now. And not just this side of the universe. Great sage, please bring him to where he should go. It's time to begin today's consolation. Just as they've heard, the sage began her devout prayer. She started to shine with a pale white light, and subtle threads of the same color gathered here from all around the Salt Snow Holy City, creating bridges through her body. And she guided those bridges to the other world. White shooting stars soared through the endless night and scattered in the country of iron sand. Life and death, white and black. The death of those two combined bubble universes was delayed, and they became a more ample place. This will do. Now see, so those wisps, weren't lying. The stage's power did guide them to the so-called afterlife. Or at least they had their memories, emotions, and prayers. Prometheus called her an abnormal stigma, but she's rather stable and harmless. If it wasn't for those accidents that happened recently... Ooh. Of course, things can't possibly go that smoothly. Otherwise, why would she work with hair to deceive you into this world? Whose voice is that? You heard it too. Take a better look. When those lights pass through her body and are guided to the land of the dead, don't you feel like they take something away from your body? This voice, is it you again? You've realized, well, it's to be expected, once bitten, twice shy. That's not a saying. Plus, the two of you are the ones who wanted to understand everything that happened. Enough with your smokes and mirrors, show yourself. Ignoring Seely's yells, the scene before their eyes began to change quickly again. Through a rift, the changes in the two worlds began to selectively appear, like lantern slides. They saw plenty of uninvited guests in them too. Of course, be it the short interlude caused by the assassin from the Sea of Quanta, or the not-so-pleasant first meeting that Mistalin had with Sage, they all appeared before the two Seelys, up until the revelation of the contract that Seely was roped into. Oh, the Sage must feel assured, seeing Prometheus work so hard. To repay your hospitality, we'll definitely manage the city well, the Holy City well. Well, I've said it before, I don't care about your true motive as long as what you do aids in maintaining the order of this universe. And as you've mentioned that day, there are loopholes in my management of the Holy City. I cannot leave the tower for an extended period of time, but I must handle conflicts personally. Exactly, so not only do you need a hermit who can prophesize, but also assistants like us. They really came here by coincidence. They truly improved the operations of this universe, everything became more orderly instead of simply capturing the abnormal stigma. Don't be deceived, Seely, this woman is never good at heart, or rather, she doesn't have a heart at all. Perhaps she's doing something good now to excuse the sins she'll commit in the future. Otherwise, why would we be dragged here? And regardless, Prometheus has completed the first step of our agreement. Must thank you for that. Then, Mistalin and Shariak, you're responsible for the second step. When can you begin? Look, here it is. The most important part of the conversation soon appeared. After all, she and I, Miss Seely Volare, are pretty much old friends. She gave herself away. As a template right now, she has the exact balance that you seek. Two lives naturally in one body, the perfect harmony between someone human and someone who isn't. With her as your reference, you can surely find the answer to these two worlds. Look at that holier-than-thou attitude. She said 2 lives in one body. That means we are the template that the Sage wants. Yes. If they really are how you describe them to be, perhaps we can find the way to rescue both worlds from them. After all, I am certain that I'm not the real Sage. I've met a lot of abnormal stigmata, and they either wallow in self-deception or give up on themselves after finding out the truth. And someone like you is conscious and decisive, who can accept yourself as an entity that's not human, yet shoulder the duty of rescuing humans. I must say, it comforts me. Well, I don't understand some of explanations. But from the moment I was born, after I listened to the people pray, I began to realize, to maintain the stability of the two worlds is my natural duty, but not the power I was born with. I don't think it's that difficult to acknowledge that, and as long as I try to stabilize these two worlds, I'll be able to detect when they separate. Yes, because in the end, you're not a creation that belongs to this universe. The wisps that were led by you still cannot sustain themselves as independent existences. Furthermore, you don't have the ability to turn non-humans into humans. That is the final duty of the legendary Sage. The dead cannot reunite with their loved ones by praying. Their world along with them will separate from Salt Snow Holy City in the end. Before then, we must find a way to stop this separation. To guide a non-human back to humans, to answer those prayers to stabilize the two worlds. To me, I just have to do those things when I exist as has no direct relation to those duties. Mistalin sank into deep thought, as if trying to find some contradictions in the Sage's words, but ultimately, an emotionally driven power took over and she did not mention her suspicions. Please let me say it again, you truly comfort me. I don't need your respect, I just need your support. Then allow me to give you a disclaimer. I will only do my best, but I will not take responsibility for everything that happens.
結果については無理よ。
Alright,
それでいい。
that'd be enough.
特権を持つ仕事
Although I don't want to interfere with things outside my job's scope, as a temporary manager of this universe, I think I must say something. Mr. Lin, the data that you can analyze comes mainly from the time when Celia Valerie comes into the two worlds separately. Then you can observe what happens to the two of them.
さらに言えば
Specifically, you need to observe if there is anything we can learn about sustaining non-human entities and stabilizing the two worlds from the process of their reunion.
どうしたの？
Why are you worried about that? I'll forget my own plan, Prometheus.
あなたがそこまでど
I just didn't think that you'd be so dull, that you'd at least be able to notice the problem before I repeat myself. When the two Sealies reunite, they will become the second existence to be able to cross between the two worlds. You should know the risk of changing a universe's rules like that. Furthermore, the probability of the two worlds existing as a way they do now is founded on an inexplicable anomaly.
それってこの世界が直面するリスク
Do you mean the risk that this universe will face, or the risk that the Sage will face? You don't have to give me a multiple choice question, you know that both cases will come true. Naturally, I will do my best to prevent the universe from its risk. If my power alone aren't enough, then I may also need your help.
とにかく
Regardless, this is an inevitable risk that this universe has to take to protect itself. There is no room for discussion. The same goes for the risk that I will need to face. You should know that what it means for you once you lost your authority as a sage.
大切なのは
I am not important, the sage is. As long as someone can inherit this authority, that's enough.
それに
And in that case, a perfect sage will be born, one who can truly maintain the two worlds for a long time and guide the people to become stable existences.
その代価は
The only price for this is, in your own words, that I have to return to where I belong. Whoops.
それ以上に合理的
That
な
is
展
the
開
most
はない
reasonable arrangement.
見たでしょ？
When you look at that, Prometheus, I didn't say stay in this universe just to sate my curiosity.
何度もこの
Please let me repeat myself politely. How can I not feel comforted after witnessing such potential from an abnormal stigma? Fair enough. One thing I've noticed, I'm not a massive fan of it, but it's not too big of a problem. Ever since the end of kind of the main story with Kiana May and Bronya, and also all of the finality stuff in Honkai, how the fuck did Prometheus and Mistolin become the main characters at this point? How the fuck did that happen? You know what I mean? I have no idea how they became important. And I feel like most of this stuff that's happening has no real importance. I feel like it's all just nonsensical drivel about an unfortunate circumstance. And I just have no idea where the hell they're going with this, but I digress.
つまり
So everything is the Sage's preparation to hand over her authority once and for all. With Mistolin's cooperation, she is sacrificing herself so that we can replace her as the perfect Sage.
そうだとしても
Even so, there was no need to kidnap us here. Can't you hold a civil conversation?
それに
And just to save those wispy monsters?
ジェレは
Listen, have you seen the residents in the underworld?
もし彼らが
If they are transformed from the residents of Salt Snow Holy City, then they are like the same residents that I have seen. They are sincere and kind.
ま
Now that you mention it, they are all honest people. Every single one of them won't stop talking about their great sage.
私たちも
Are we going to become those fellas great sage now?
彼らを助けられるの
I
は
think it's not bad if we can help them. Of course, we must secure a way to get home safely beforehand.
元の世界に
Those two objectives are not mutually exclusive, right? Just like what Durandal experienced. Those people are real troublemakers, eh?
いいわ本当にそう思ってる
Do you really think so? What did she say actually? What happened? Never mind, with Celia and I around, how hard can it be to give those whiffs a human form?
あなたは
You are from just now.
本当の賢者の
Have you forgotten what the Sage's authority actually means? You can't leave the tower and will always shoulder the responsibility of consoling the souls. And why can't she stop the two worlds from separating anymore? Isn't her power weakening?
あなたたちを
You really intend to replace her as food for this tower?
ゼーレ
Step back. I'll send her to the underworld this time. The two of you still won't accept reality, eh?
構わないよもうここまで来たし
Fuck this screen. It doesn't matter at this point, it's better to let you listen for yourself. This time is my most sincere confession. Okay, final stage for part 1. Here we go. Time to understand the truth. Nothing happened.
大丈夫だよ
I'm okay. That person's interfering with the space related to the sage again. And I think that person followed us in when the sage began showing her memories. She appeared at every key moment to plant her opinions in our heads.
あんな風に
Being able to jack into the mind space at will. She must be the same person that disguised as you.
きっと
I'd like to see what'll happen to her if she runs into the Herrscher of sentience. but we still don't know what she's up to.
この声は
This voice is
ハイヘビ
Grey Serpent. How the fuck did you discern it from a
ま
grunt?
さかまだ漁師の海に
Could this have happened when we were in the Sea of
近
Quanta?
くまで行ってみようゼレ
Oh, wait. Well, the person that was killing all the Grey Serpents was not. I don't fucking know. Yeah, this is where I forget what happened 7 patches ago, or fucking 7 chapters ago. I see. You're not here. A shadow from a foreign universe. I've lost a lot because I failed to account for your existence.
私も驚いて
I'm also very surprised, nameless sir.
まさか誕生
I didn't think that I'll meet an entity like you after I'm born. Right after you're born. Ah, I get it now. Why didn't I think of it? The birth of an abnormal stigmata is likely accompanied by that woman's actions. No, perhaps it's a vicious cycle. But I'm very curious. There's no bad blood between us. Why would you try to harm
あ
me?
なたは誤解して
You misunderstand me. There's no special reason to this. It's only because the space in the Sea of Quanta isn't stable.
私の本能
My instinct is to survive, to gain a stable space, and return to where I came from. I need sufficient energy, and a space more stable than this. So you took energy and space from me without so much as a warning, purely to survive? What's the difference between what you want and what I want? Yes, I've learnt this from you.
知ってると
You should know that as a Stigma life, my core instinct from birth is to learn. My sister, who enabled my birth, had awakened my survival instinct, and you have awakened my instinct to take things from others. To obtain resources from the environment to create your own body, humans have been doing this for millions of years, no? Is that so? Then I suppose I should thank you for having a chat with me. How are the 2 Sealies there doing? Now you understand the entire situation, right? No. Thank you so much for presenting us with this soap opera. Although that Grey Serpent got what he deserved, eh? But I think that compared to his blatant malice, you're strangely more intolerable than him. And I thought the 2 of you would understand if I showed you my motive truthfully. Understand you? When you woke up safely from this dream, the Sage's authority will be completely passed to you. I still don't believe that it's the best solution for any of us. I know. You don't agree that we should inherit the Sage's authority because you don't trust that we can pay the price for such a responsibility. But as we said before, we have prepared ourselves. And our determination won't lose to the likes of you. Trust and determination are not important here, buddies. I merely think that between you inheriting the Sage's authority and me absorbing that artificial life's energy, there's no difference. But, from another perspective, what the both of you just said has indeed wavered my heart a little. And because of this instance of wavering, I thought of an idea that we can learn from you. In contrast, I also wish to see both of your hearts, if both your hearts will waver like mine. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake. I hate fighting playable AI. I use monsters in the Holy City to give your memory a small test. And now, I know what rattles you, Sealy. The death of your friends. Everyone dies. She's moving pretty fast. She's using Dreamland powers to cheat. But if this keeps going, if we keep fighting the Sage's memory, it could be a huge threat to both worlds. That's not gonna hit, is it? Oh no. Why? She's slowing down. This is our chance. Finish him. Fatality. Bazinged. You killed me. Hello. That's a pretty funny line. Fighting a doppelganger of yourself? black screen of death appear. Hi.
ミステル
Mistel finally remembered to end this dream after trapping us in for so long. I'm sorry, but I had to defend the sage's innocence. We've already noticed another abnormal stigma, but we need to make a lot of preparations to target it. It's thanks to the sage that we managed to capture that cheeky fellow. And of course, you guys contributed in creating an opportunity too. Oh. Oh, what, so the real abnormal stigma that was in this place was this Seelie here? Oh, interesting. Or like the real threatening abnormal stigma is that one? Interesting. Okay.
あなたも
Do you agree with their perspective, sister?
私は
I only wish that we can continue to live.
すまない。
Sorry, but I cannot let you do as you wish anymore.
私たちは
We must stabilize the two worlds, and your selfish behavior
世界の規則を
violates this
破壊
rules universe. Before her twin abnormal stigma could finish, the sage used the last of her powers. And after that, the light from the two non-human entities disappeared simultaneously.
やっと消えたのか
Finally exterminated.
そんな物騒
Don't
な
use such a
ことは
dangerous
使わない
word recklessly. That shard merely returned to where she should go for now.
彼女を成功
You sent her back to the stigma space, right?
つまり
So before all this, you guys already knew of her existence and origin.
彼女は
Who is she?
彼女のことは
I call her Abnormal Stigma 0015. She was born from Abnormal Stigma 0014, who is the sage you guys are so familiar with. Accurately speaking, I caused some changes when I lured you into the Sea of Quanta, and as the finale of a long process, hastened her birth. The sage who sacrifices herself to sustain this universe, her survival instinct that had been suppressed gradually faded, and so she came to stop all this. It's only my assumption, but it should be rather accurate. An abnormal stigma that created another abnormal stigma. Do Siberians like... what the fuck is that? Matrushka... Matro... That doll?
あら
I don't think I deserve so much distrust, though.
君たちがつけた手
I cannot fully grasp your definition of us, but I can feel that she shares my source of origin.
だから彼女
So
は
that's why she calls you sister. The past is in the past, but you know that she's dangerous, and yet you still allowed her to do as she wished in the tower. Well, I didn't know about this either. I didn't think she would appear.
でも今
But in hindsight, this is probably another insurance for the sage. I suppose it's because I'm difficult to trust.
世界の
When it comes to this universe's rules, I must confirm that your judgment is not clouded by other factors. So once I gave her the responsibility to analyze Seelie Volare in another way, but I didn't think that she'll go so far as to attack your body and mind.
それじゃあ
Then what she told us at and after that time was true.
高等の権
The
力
sage must always remain inside the tower and endlessly console the souls. And every time you guide the souls, you'll lose part of your powers until you're ultimately consumed. These are all facts?
不完全な賢者な
Well, true. For an imperfect sage, those flaws are true. And as you can see, the sage is very weak now, not only because she had exhausted her powers in 2 battles just now and transferred her powers, her daily consolation has taken away a huge portion of her stigma powers.
何しろ
And after all, the moon rocks that illuminate the underworld require stigma power.
今
You talked about an imperfect sage just now. What about a perfect one then?
正確に言う
Actually, I can't confirm this either, as nobody has ever seen the real sage. Perhaps you'll have more freedom than her, or maybe you'll remain trapped here for the two worlds to continue
で
existing.
も
But from a more optimistic point of view, the difference between the two should be similar to the Herscher before and after metamorphosis.
そういうことなんだ
Hmm,
わかった
I understand.
私はただ
Although I'm only an outsider looking at the situation now, I'll gladly accept the sage's
私
inheritance.
もちろん
Of course, this doesn't mean that I'm prepared to confine both Seelie and myself in this tower. We still have somewhere to return to, and companions who are waiting and searching for us.
でも
But just like in our universe, Durandal managed to do it, I believe that we can also find a solution that achieves the best of both worlds. No, the best result for everyone. Seelie just actually said, uncaparaciously, Durandal can do it, so can I. That's what Seelie just said. Durandal can do it? You know what? I could too, and even better actually. Seelie's just absolutely bluffing right now, talking to herself like she's the best. Hey dude, relax.
そのために私
For that, I'm willing to become the sage first, to accept the crown and shackles of a sage.
そこまで考えてたから
Seelie, you think so too, right? Because we've already thought so far we weren't shaken by that 0015. The place you choose to be is where I choose to be. When we get back, we can brag to Bronya and the rest. There's no going back.
そうか
I see. For the first time, the emotionless sage showed a sincere smile on her face.
それなら
That's great, guys.
この世界を
On behalf of this universe, I thank you.
この瞬間
From this moment forth, the two of you are the new sage.
あとは
Now then,
君たちに
I leave the rest to you. The fog dissipated, the light shone on the land again to light the eternal fire for this universe. The transfer of authority proceeded silently, sorry. Cool. After some time, others also began to rush to the top of the tower.
つまり
So the original sage had exhausted her powers and disappeared?
もう
Don't forget that I'm still here.
彼女の力はもう
Although she barely has any powers left, but I can sustain her existence by sending her back to the Stigma space. Of course, she won't have the energy to greet everyone in the foreseeable future.
賢者様の交代
I never thought I'd be able to witness a phenomenal moment like this. The replacement of the great sage! Everyone only calmed down when the oracles returned to town just now. I'm sure it'll cause a commotion if we spread this news out. Hey, keep this to yourself, Vita. But of course, even if I can understand the weight of the situation. I helped with calming the residents down previously, right? More accurately, outside the areas of the areas that the oracles and I were responsible for, you took about 3% of the work. Well, I'm just a normal human after all, actually. There's no way I'll be on par with a machine or the oracles. I'm just a regular human. Eh? Regardless, as someone who contributed during this chaos, I should be allowed to meet the new Miss Sage, right? I'm so curious about how things will change now. You're right. Before I meet Seelie, I can only believe half of what Miss Lin said after the fight. Okay, let's go. She's ascended to some sort of entity. She's like just a floating apparition. That would be funny. The group walked down the corridor to where the sage used to console souls. It's Seelie! She's practicing the ability to integrate prayers and control the oracles with the sage's powers. Did the other Seelie go back into her body? She returned to the country of Iron Sand to meet up with the Hirsch of Sentience. It's probably more chaotic there than here in Salt Snow's holy city. But that child is gentle and competent. I'm sure she'll resolve the problem quickly. Gentle?
スーサナどうかした
What's wrong, Susanna?
どい
I was just wondering, if you were really talking about the other Seelie, you can't judge a book by its cover.
例えばキラ
Just like Miss Shigure Kira, didn't you develop quite a few misunderstandings about me because of my appearance and contrasting personality? True. I kind of didn't like that Kira just like is dissing Mrs. Shariak for just having the Shariak name. Ugh, this is... Everyone wait! No, something's wrong with Miss Seelie.
ゼーレ
What's up? Something is wrong with the sage's power. How can this be? As Seelie whimpered, a red glowing screen popped up next to Prometheus. Doomsday warning. Doomsday. It can't be. Is it already starting? Didn't you say that this sort of thing won't happen as long as she can integrate the sage's power? But why? Looking at Seelie, it doesn't seem like this power is helping us at all. Is this all part of your plan, Mr. Lin? Kira immediately questioned the narrator of this story, but when she furiously looked at Miss Lin, there was an unconcealable embarrassment painted on her face. This is quite,
方で無実を証明
I don't wish to prove my innocence in this way, but as you can see, not only Seelie is affected. It seems that those who have approached the core rule of this world are all affected. Power has turned against us. Furthermore,
もしもし聞こえてる
what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
の律者
Hirsch of Sentience, what happened?
セーレは
Is she alright?
大丈夫
I can't say she is, but I can still do this. Hirsch of Sentience, don't interfere.
ほら
Look at that, even though she's supposed to have some sort of power, she's very conscious.
問題があるのは
But she's not the only one facing problems. The condition of Professor Rock and these souls suddenly got worse. Professor said that maybe some sage powers went wrong. Do you have any idea about that?
確かに
Something is wrong with the sage's power. No, rather than a problem with the power, it's more accurate to say that the power isn't working.
力は
This power seems to be constrained by the world's rules and has become everyone's liability.
それって
You mean it was an oversight on my part,
でも
but it can explain our situation.
あの
つまりね
We're saying that replacing the sage will not solve the crisis that the two worlds face.
世界は
The world is still collapsing,
そして私たち
and we are fated to be caught up in this. Huh. Fair enough. Oh, that was part one. Oh, nice. Nice. We're not going to be doing part two right now. I'll do it at a later date, probably tomorrow. But that was part one. That was pretty interesting. That was pretty interesting. so the original, what is it, Stigma person 14 is in the Stigma space, and so is 15, and that was the real problem, but now it's the problem of integrating Sage powers and making it work. Yeah, it's interesting. To this day, I still, you know what, I said at the start of this that, chapters 36, 7, and 38 have not been my favorite, and, I can gladly say that that's still true. Not my favorite chapters, not even close, really. Just kind of a resident sleeper, eh? A bit of resident sleeper. But still, nonetheless, that was cool. That was kind of cool. A set of dolls, progressively smaller inside and like a box within a box within a box. Oh, one of those dolls. I thought they were called babushkas. But yeah, it was still a cool chapter. Oh, sorry, a cool act. It's not the end of the chapter, sorry. But that's a cool act. I kind of, like, already know what the final product of it is, but I will keep that to myself. Still just cool, though. That's all it is to me. Interest is still all-time low. I don't know how to comment on this. It was like an enjoyable chapter just because it's something, but it's not overly enjoyable because I think the content is still quite weak, and a lot of it's kind of not really based in some sort of like progression. It's just kind of like a random. This kind of feels like a random pop-up event, if that makes sense. These Seelie and the Seelie and like Susanna chapters, they just kind of feel like a random pop-up event. Like out of nowhere, it's like, ooh, here's a thing, and you just kind of have to go with the flow. Whilst like everything prior felt like a progression of one point to another. So, you know, it's fine. But yeah, that's that. That's that. We'll do part 2 tomorrow, and this is probably uploaded as 3 different parts, just for the sake of a nice little story thing. So that's cool. 3 out of 10. All right, let's do some of the event though. What do I do here? So clear any net of whispers. Ooh, how do I do that? What does that mean? Net of whispers, this one. Unlock power of guidance. Gravity whisper. Level up an inscribed whisper with dark or light attributes to level 20. Oh shit. Unlock 3810 to unlock the power of guidance. Oh, we can go here. Ah, yes, these like small little side stories. Ah, yes, cool. We can go do that. I will do some of the event, and that might be the end of the stream. I kind of only want to do the story. Honkai doesn't have much content there nowadays. This room looks like it's been turned upside down. I'm not sure why I'm reading this. This is not really important story. Alright. Oh, not actual enemies, man. Not actual enemies, dude. Oh, what? Do. Bob. Hey, what's up, Missing Throat, man? Welcome to the stream, dude. Hope you're having a great day, buddy. Okay, what are we doing? We have to step on the pressure plate, and it's gonna flip the room. Or it's gonna give us like a jump boost to run up there or something. This little thing. Flippy Roomy! Ooh, that's the oddest way that I've seen that mechanic done. I think I usually just see it, like, it kind of does the room flip quickly. Yeah, shut up, Seelie, please. This is an irrelevant bit of story. Irrelevant bit of story. Got it. Oh, I hate cinematics sometimes. Oh, I feel weightless. The power of gravity in my control. Get fucked. Nerd. This chapter, all parties already unlocked. I only finished part 1 and 2. Yeah, I know. We'll be doing all the parts over the next 2 days.
さっきの
Oh, just let me figure it out, game. Oh, stop talking. Stop talking. Oh, we have to do this whole animation every single time. Holy crap, the amount of cutscenes for no reason. Dude, the more I play MiHoYo games, the more I get pissed off. Dude, they could have just made it a faster animation. Holy god. What are they doing? What are they doing? Why does it take so long? Just changing a bit of gravity, it's really easy. Oh, let me out. Please. Oh, I have to fight something. Gravity, after a short delay, pull enemies, inflict denudation on them, and then lift them up into the air. Okay, a bit of CC. Cool, cool, cool. Sure. Did almost nothing, but that's fine. Denudation. Level 18 already, what? Hey, we can get that up to 20. And that gets, oh, how do we get to that? Inscribed Whispers. Equip. And then enhance. Just quick select what I'm doing. 20. What level is it? What's the level? 23. Cool. Now we got the gravity exploration. Oh, that's to get, okay. We'll do Net of Whispers because that's going to get some of our challenges. We've been missing out on a lot of Kira fragments. We got Supreme difficulty as well. Clear hard 8 times to unlock. Okie dokie. Now, what team do I want to use? Let me use my Persia team just because it's better. Where is my lady? This one. Everyone, do you have your gears on? I think I took the gears off one of them. Domain of Unity. Ah! I want to kill myself. Oh, I'm gonna have to put them back in. Oh. Please be there. Thank God. And we'll chuck you on. Babushka translates to grandma, not necessarily blood related, and Matryoshka translates to matriarch. Oh. Oh, they're quantum. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay, I didn't know Babushka was directly grandmother. I knew it was connected to grandma or grandmother, rather, whatever the exact one is, in some way, but I didn't think it was like a direct kind of translation. Well, the more you know. The more you know. I think I have one of those, like, little, dolls, though. The one that, like has... It's like a... Well, it's just like a small wooden doll that then you open up and there's, like, a smaller version of it. I think I have one of those in my house somewhere. Oh. I don't think this is also my favorite main story event. Is that what you would call it, a main story event? I don't think it's my favorite one. Clear Doomsday 310. Is there a way to access all the challenges? Here. Can we get some of these done? Clear Elder Enigma, Domain of Stagnation, and Chaos, and then just do Gravity. Sorry, not Gravity, do Expert Mode. Clear all stages in each instrument, expending light. A few of these can't be done, and getting 3 scribe with initially red inscriptions. Yes, initially red inscriptions. Alright. Is that this thing? What is this? Hold up. I don't want to do something without knowing what it is. Is that that? Oh, that's that, okay. Gravity will inflict denudation. Using gravity generates a device with HP hit count. Center gravity. When its HP reaches 0 or gravitational field, it explodes dealing high damage in a small area. Sure. Sure, we'll try. These are going to be quantum enemies, aren't they, though? They're going to be goddamn quantum enemies. Taking 3 imaginary characters into a quantum fight? I've never done something so intellectual in my life. Need the HP loss effect? Feels good. Oh, this feels great. Fucking HP loss effect, man. There's not even a good one for, a good character for that in this, element. Final something. Do 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 do. Oh, you know what? I kind of wish they would add an English dub to this game. I kind of just want to. I want to hear the voices in English, or these lines in English. Maybe the supposed thing happening in the spring of next year, the whole like 2.0 remake of the game. Maybe that'll bring an English dub, right? Maybe that'll bring an English dub. Okay. Oh, wait, what the fuck? 1 million. 1 million gray damage. I don't even know what the gray damage means. 1 year into the game and I don't know what gray damage is. Do 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 do. That's that one, and now we have the regrindable, or not the regrindable, but the getting more. I'm gonna assume that to get the red inscriptions, I'm gonna need to do the it's gonna be on Supreme difficulty, right? That's gonna be another 3 days. Bit annoying. Oh well, we'll have to do it anyway. You see the Honkai concert at July 29th? I'm not sure if I'll see it live, but I'll probably watch it at some point. It's just a music concert, to be quite frank, isn't it? And not to diminish it, absolutely not, but they haven't added that much more music to the game for it to require a concert compared to what happened last time. So I'll probably end up watching it, but I'll watch it as like its own singular video or something along those lines. I'm not sure if I'll watch it live. Because yeah, like when was the last one? The last one in, like had all the way up to AFO. They what? It's pretty much before Herstra of Human Ego. It was the last time like music concert was had or whatever. Not that many songs have really appeared. Like about 3 new songs, which is like, you know, have a concert for 3 new songs and then just kind of listen to all the old ones. It's cool. It's cool, but I won't watch it live.
人類の灯火はあんたの手にもある。
Do, 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 do. Purple. Legendary! After using the skill, increase team elemental damage by 43%. Huh. Hook me up, bro. Hook me up. Is there no sort function for this? Oh, there isn't a sort function. Oh, God. There's no sort function. Maybe I could, can I take this one off? And puts it at 20, so there's a bit of loss of XP. And then we have to imprint it, we need. Increases damage taken by enemies by 15. Team elemental damage by 35. I'll do that one, I guess. Do 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 dee 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 do. Ah yes, exclusively deal a large amount of damage. I saw a red one there. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's kind of like the red ones from the previous event for the Flame Chasers.
コンプレイトリープリペアード。私の番。変化準備。私の番。逃がさないの。兵は機動なる。先陣一心。大迷惑。ありがとう。心配しないで。
For them being quantum, I'm doing quite a large amount of damage.
永久配置安全装置解除します。起動状態確認。敵発見。コンプレイトリープリペアード。私の番。ウォー火力全開。ファイヤー。今よ。隙だらけね。来なさい。醜悪を断ち切る。ありがとう。一見必勝。時間が流れ始める。
Nice. Ooh, I love this skin. The Kiana skin is so good. The guns are so good. And the gun and the sword are really good. Fuck, I'm happy that I got this skin, actually. So happy I got this skin. After using skill, increase team fizz damage. Eesh. I was using exclusive. Use a skill, trigger time fracture, and deal damage. You buy the Origin and Truth discount? Yeah. Yeah. I've used Trio to fight M8 Cosmo and they perform better than Nick's team, 7 minutes behind. Shit is killing me. Hey, it's all, man. Ashura, you don't have to continue saying that if you don't want to, man. It's all good. But yeah, the Hersha, dude, the Hersha teams outscales so many teams. I think you can also use them against like you can use it on ice weeks as well, and it would perform just fine. You can use it on physical weeks, and it performs just fine. It's actually crazy how strong the Hersha team is. And essentially what I've decided for my own kind of account is that from now on, I'm not really pulling for new characters unless they are super cool. Right now, I'm just kind of like getting, I'm either rolling for skins or getting like higher rare, like ranks in characters. I was very tempted to roll on the Aponia thing that's happening now, I think it is. Unless it's ended, which let me just try to check. I'm very tempted to roll on this just because I want Aponia, right? But it's like also probably not good value, but I kind of still want to do it because I just want Aponia. But I'm probably not gonna because I don't have a tenor, so. Even though I don't use Aponia much anymore, actually, but I still, I kind of thinking about it. But yeah, I'm only focusing on getting higher, like, ranked characters or skins, essentially. Cosmetics. I'm curious to see how the, although I don't know if I'll be able to play during 3.8. I think I'll have to take a break from Honkai for about a patch in August. Because I don't have a means to play it, because I'm a cringe Steam player. Oh, the next party is focused on the sugars. Nice, cool. I have no way to play Honkai in August, essentially. But I think that problem's being resolved in part 2 of Honkai once we get to the kind of the rework of the game. I think they're heavily hinting at the fact that the Steam version of Honkai is going to be a lot more compatible with the Hoyoverse login. I think that's what they're like, they've kind of implied. They haven't said it, but they've implied it. So I'm very curious for that, but that's happening in not August, sorry. That's happening in spring next year, so that's going to be a while. It's unfortunate. I was hoping to have it done because I won't be able to play. Ugh. If only I had a Steam Deck. If only I had a Steam Deck, man. Might be able to play this game. Ooh, not double S, sorry, S1. Cool. I will try to get this lady to triple S because she kind of does replace part of Fellis without really having her best in slot. Ultimate on hit, enemies take more damage. Yeah, I need to get her to triple S just because. The part to begin on 2024? Yeah, it begins in spring of 2024. But it's like, that's still a long ways away, and I want it now. But, obviously, can't. What was I doing, though? The event still. We were still doing the event. Because I don't want to take a break from Honkai, because I do want to stay up to date and keep grinding. But I think throughout August, because I'll be away, I think I'll just have to not play a Honkai. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. I've been trying to figure out for every 1% of the anime HP remaining, I've been trying to figure out a way to kind of make it so I can continue playing, but I think it's what it is, you know. It is what it is. Enhanced. I kind of want to try out this exclusive thing. I can kind of like put it there or something, or like replace that one. And then that's physical damage, which doesn't do shit, so. We got one more ticket. It's on the money. Yep. But I'll be staying up to date with all the other Hoyoverse games as per usual, as I have a Hoyoverse account for them. What the fuck was that with the screen? What was that? Something happening with the screen? I'm not quite condoning it. What the hell? Wow, that was a lot faster. 45 seconds. Wowzers. Even they reveal the next character on the event in China for 6.9 and 7.0. I think I've seen some stuff. I don't want to... Oh, there we go. I'm not going to say it just because it is quite far in the future and I don't like looking too far. But I have seen some things. It looks pretty cool. I'm kind of excited for some of them, but I don't want to like over expect things from Hoyo because I'm more curious to see not so the characters, so much the characters, but I want to see more so what they do with the game and its actual like design and a few of its like you know, the quality of life stuff that they've kind of promised. Promised is a strong word, but yeah, the quality of life that they've promised. But yeah, more curious about that than the characters. Let us try this and get some sort of score. Do 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 do.
方向再指定エリア警戒動的射武装再構築手動装置開始反応検索コンプレートリープリペアード私の番火力全開ファイヤー今よ隙だらけね来なさい集悪を
Damn, got no SP on these ladies. What the fuck? No, should I have to treat this like Memorial Arena, right? Jesus Christ.
雷鳴が来る先陣一進ありがとう
My dad has got to treat this like Memorial, man. What the?
必殺重装ウサギ永久配置反応検索
Goddamn Memorial Arena always haunting me.
火力連携構築エネルギー解放全エリコンプレートリープリペアード私のギアナ出撃準備変化準備気が近場に隙だらけねふっ逃がさないわ集悪を断ち切るふっふっやっ雷鳴が来るふっふっアナイアレーション出航しますエネルギー
Eesh, eh? Going tough. Fucking hell.
コンプレートリープリペアード私の番
I need to get the denudation card, I guess. Jesus. Didn't think it would be this stringent.
来なさい先陣一進
Though I've pretty much actually also come to the conclusion that anytime I have to do the Shigure Kira boss, I pretty much just like don't do that this week. I've come to that conclusion with my Honkai account is that whenever the Kira boss is available, I just don't do it. Because doing that without like a well-built Kira and like knowing how to play the characters just doesn't work, and it's pretty much a waste of time.
この一撃はかなり痛いよ猫ちゃんファイナル戦士
You don't get much done unless you know what you're doing and the timing and all that. It's the only fight where I think the timing and exact punctual usage of your abilities is the most important thing. And I ain't about that life anymore.
解除します起動
I ain't about that life anymore.
コンプレートリープリペアード私の番火力全開ファイヤー今よ来なさい集悪を断ち切るそろそろ本気を出すよ一撃必殺
I'm still thinking the weird marketing of the Origin and skin, Truth skin using discount. Are they gonna do that again in the future? It's a pretty smart tactic, though, right? It's a smart tactic. It's I would say it's a bit scummy. It's a very scummy tactic, just a bit. But it's a pretty good tactic for getting people engaged and getting people wanting to spend money. Because to be quite fair, they could have done a better discount. It wasn't that big of a discount. I think both skins like are $50 in total in Australian. If you had the discount. But it's like, they definitely will do it in the future, like, because what, you had to buy the ticket with like 60 gems, and then it takes like off about 300 B chips worth of currency from one of the skins. So, the slip, what, slipper? So it's a pretty smart thing to do. They definitely will do it, but I think only for, maybe not only for big skins. They probably should do it for every like major skin that they reveal or like release that is like of high quality. Because like, for example, in next patch, I believe there's a hair skin coming out, but I don't think that's like a super high quality one from what I've gathered. It doesn't change the character too drastically from a visual perspective. She just kind of gets like a suit or something. I don't think that skin should have it, but like the next time they add a skin that's like a full like outfit change, theme change, or maybe like a aesthetic change, they probably should do it for those ones, 100%. Physical damage, total team. This one is the denudation one. So denudation. These are all denudation. At level 30, I haven't unlocked level 30, have I? No. Oh, you get a lot of inscriptions. Jesus Christ. You get a lot of damage bonus from that. I guess I'll, like, level this other one up just to make it so I can do stuff. Quick select. Materials will be consumed. This one. Oh. Tough crowd, eh? Increases team's total damage? Sure. Nice. Alright, cool. That was the event. That was the story and that was the event. Might start to wrap it up because I don't want to do much else in Honkai as there's not much else to do. We might do some more stuff tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be the actual reset for at least NA servers. So I'll probably do a few more things tomorrow, but as of right now... I don't think I have... Did I get everything from this shop? Do I want to go do this event maybe really quickly? Actually, I might want to buy the last of this legacy. Thank you. War Treasury. We've been buying Sushang fragments like there's no tomorrow. Trying to get this lady up to triple S. We are quite far away. We're at S1 still. Very close to S2. S2 next week. Which is quite fun and quite interesting. Sushang is an absolute powerhouse. Also been slowly getting Elysia fragments. God knows why. I just buy them. What else can we get? These ones. Armada Terminal. Anything here? No. Here, no. Here, we want not Sushang, Shigure. Grab that. And I think this is my last... Oh, fuck. Can I even grab... No! Oh, this is my last few for Griseo. Oh, God, I need to get this. Oh, where can you buy Asterite? Fuck. Here. Maybe not that many. We don't do that many. This is my last thing. This is Triple S Griseo acquired. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Triple S Griseo, even though she's not built in any way. I think she only has her signature and then one Suzanne. But it is, in fact, Triple S Griseo. Epic game. So that means nothing. I don't even know how good she is as a physical support anymore. Haven't paid attention to it. When the team hits a bleeding enemies, each stack of bleeding increases crit rate and increases physical damage. If I get, like, at least 2 sets as... You know what? By how much is that physical damage buff? When the enemy hits bleeding enemies, each stack of bleeding increases crit rate by 3 and increases physical damage by 3. To, like, a total of how many stacks, though? What's the stack total? Because that's pretty fucking good. Here, can stack Prismatic Bubble 2 times with 10 second of triggering Prismatic Bubble, interrupt and reduce total incoming damage. Sure. And then landing basic attack 3 and 5 increases physical damage by 20% for 3 seconds, triggered again, refresh duration. Sure. Why not? Okay, we might even be able to just run her like this standard. And she's might be better than Prometheus in very rare situations where there's no shields involved. That might be better than Prometheus. If there's, I think in non-shield teams that would be better, but no, I would need the artifacts. Alright, cool. And that's gonna be that. What's that other shop? Where is that one? Is that, it's this one. What else do we have to do here? Main story, get the 7,000, get a bunch of stuff, earn battle pass things. And that's to get this last skin box. I got the Azure Imperia skin, which I do find to be a fucking epic skin. Very satisfied with being able to get that. Although I didn't equip it. That's a goated skin right there. I like this skin a lot. Fragment conversion. Oh, 40 out of 60. Alright, we're gonna wrap it up. That was part 1 of the story. We're just gonna wrap up early because I only wanted to get this story done for the most part. I don't want to dawdle because there's not much to do in Honkai. or many other gacha games, because they're all just kind of in their down phases for the most part. So we're just going to wrap it up early. Guys, that was that. That'll be uploaded as its own video as well. Tomorrow and the day after, we're doing part 2 tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we'll do part 3. Because I believe part 3 is out now. Or at least it will be out on Global tonight or sometime like that. So we'll do all that tomorrow. And we'll have a bit of a fun time learning about if I like the story of Honkai anymore. Right? We'll find out. But that's going to be the wrap-up for now. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. Really appreciate it. And the story's pretty cool. I'll give it like a solid, like, I don't know, 7 out of 10. It's like enjoyable, but there's not much substance to it other than the fact that it's just characters that we know and like. So, pretty good. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. Really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next stream for the next story tomorrow. Peace out, boys.